Welcome! Today we're going to talk about this lovely 2018 Tesla Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive, a pretty rare configuration of the Model 3 that they don't offer anymore. Now if you want to buy a Model 3, if you want to get a rear-wheel drive one, you have to get basically what they equate to the standard range. But this is a long range. Now if you get a long-range Model 3, you can only get them with all-wheel drive, which means it has an electric motor in the front and an electric motor in the back, which is awesome. But you know, all-wheel drive does cost more money. And then if you're looking to get the maximum range, if you're in the market for a pre-owned Tesla and you're looking at an older one, if you want to get the maximum range out of it, the long-range rear-wheel drive actually has better range estimates than the all-wheel drive one of a comparable year. A 2018 Tesla Model 3 all-wheel drive long range has a EPA range of about 310 miles. The long range rear-wheel drive, like this one, had an EPA range of about 325 miles. The reason being is that, you know, having that electric motor up front, that adds weight. Weight is electric car's enemy. It more weight to pull around reduces the range, and having two electric motors sucking electricity out of the battery is going to use more juice generally than just one electric motor taking energy out of the battery. So that's the reason why the rear-wheel drive long range for a while was a king as far as range goes. Back in 2018, that 300 plus mile range was pretty amazing. Even by today's standards, there's a lot of non-Tesla competitors that struggle to make EVs that have a EPA range of over 300 miles. And range can be deceiving. Real-world range is not going to be 320 miles or close to 300 miles for a number of reasons. This has lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries generally don't like to be fully charged every day. That can actually reduce the life of the battery. So Tesla recommends for daily use you charge it to 80%. You have the slider right here, so you can control. This will limit how far it charges. So for daily use, and then if you have cold weather, probably real-world range is going to be about 200 to 250 miles. So that goes to show you, if you have a vehicle that has like a 200-mile EPA range, it's probably going to get more like 100 to 150 miles of range in the real world, depending on the way you drive. It is possible to get 300 miles. It's just the EPA range of EVs is usually rosy colored, perfect scenario. Everything is perfect temperature, all that stuff. But if you do go on a road trip, it's perfectly fine every once in a while to charge it to 100% if you go on a road trip. But for daily use, to get the happiest, longest life out of your battery, they recommend 80%. So let's talk more about some of the software that this one has. This one actually has enhanced autopilot. So basic autopilot is basically like traffic aware cruise control, which allows the vehicle to brake and accelerate in its own lane. Enhanced autopilot's a little bit more. I consider enhanced autopilot basically like full self-driving for the highway. Full self-driving is about $12,000 right now, and it allows your vehicle to steer and brake and turn and basically drive itself in city streets and stuff like that, which isn't for everyone. You still have to keep your hand in the wheel and pay attention because it's in beta. It's still in testing phase right now. It doesn't have government approval for you not to pay attention. So basically, with full self-driving, I know I have it in my car, you still need to pay attention. Enhanced autopilot is basically like full self-driving for the highway. So from the highway on-ramp to the highway off-ramp, it's going to basically be self-driving. It will change lanes automatically. It will move with the flow of traffic. You also have summon, so you can pull your vehicle out of a parking space or reverse it back in. Things like that if it's a tight squeeze. And if you do want to eventually upgrade up to full self-driving, they give you a discount. So instead of paying $12,000 normally, which most other people would require to pay to upgrade to the full self-driving, with their basic autopilot equipped Tesla will only charge you $6,000 to upgrade to the full self-driving. Since you already have paid the $6,000 for the autopilot, they don't charge you the full $12,000. So yeah, enhanced autopilot is fantastic for driving on the highway. It will make your life so much easier. I'm spoiled by autopilot. I'm spoiled by full self-driving. They're all great systems, and they all are fantastic. And if you drive in stop and go traffic, drive on the highway, all of them are fantastic and will make your life so much easier. We can see that the majority of the functionalities in this screen here There's not very many buttons and knobs. There's actually none, except for here on the steering wheel. And that's by design because this screen's infinitely configurable. Even though this vehicle is getting older, it's getting better. So this car was out for years without blind spot cameras, and then one day it got an update, and then you have blind spot cameras. So it's constantly getting updated. So even though this Tesla was made in 2018, the display, the functionality is very similar to a 2023 or 2024 Tesla. Obviously there are some limitations. You know, the processor that powers the screen is not as fast as some of the newer ones, but you know, those are slight things. I don't really notice a big difference in my 2019 Tesla either. So these over-the-air updates keep it relevant. If you had hard buttons and knobs, you couldn't make those updates because those hard buttons and knobs are there forever, where this is infinitely reconfigurable. Pretty cool. So much to talk about. I can ramble on about these cars. You have amazing supercharging network. So you can use this to find all the superchargers. Tesla is popping up superchargers all over the place. It's always good to navigate to the supercharger, even though if you know where it is, because it can tell you about the supercharger, so it'll precondition the battery for faster charging. All those people, like you saw in the news in the cold Chicago winter, that weren't able to charge their cars, they didn't precondition their battery. So if a cold battery is not going to charge very fast. And then you have this button right here to activate, navigate on Autopilot. You'll absolutely love it. And you know, it has a trip planner too. So for instance, if I want to drive to Spokane, all across this great state of Washington, the car will figure it out for me. It'll have your back. You won't have to worry about having enough juice to make it to the charger, because if you navigate there, the car will figure out where you need to charge for, how long to charge for. Pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty nice design. It says these upgraded sport wheels as well. The Tesla is finally redesigned for 2024, but up until this point, they really didn't change it much. So yeah, I mean, even though you're driving an 18 Model 3, people could easily think you're driving one that's a lot newer. It's hard really to tell the difference unless you're a test spurt like me. Nice spacious interior. You have the frunk for extra storage. These are very safe. When the NHTSA first tested the Model 3, it was the lowest probability of injury out of any other vehicle they tested. One of the safest vehicles ever tested. Some of the newer Teslas, the newer Model S and X, are even safer, but when the Model 3 was first tested by the NHTSA, safest vehicle they ever tested. Pretty amazing. It's quick, it's fast, it's fun, it's technologically advanced, and it's also very safe. It checks off a lot of boxes. I really like the minimalist design of the Model 3. It's grown on me a lot. I think it's a very nicely designed vehicle. It's quiet, comfortable, very spacious. You're not hampered by the same, you know, construction as a gas-powered vehicle. Since you don't have a gas tank, a drive shaft, exhaust system, things like that, allows for a lot more interior space and a lot more cargo space. Well, there you have it. One very nice example of a 2018 Model 3, low miles, about 26,000 miles. Beautiful example of a low mileage 2018 Model 3 rear-wheel drive, long range with enhanced autopilot. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon and have a wonderful day.